Welcome back, combat fans, to another episode of Face Yourself. Today, we're going to be looking at Outworld cop and former Umgadi leader Li Mei. With the beta wrapping up on Monday, I got to experience firsthand on how the new Li Mei will be in the new game. I've been holding off on making this episode because I knew she would show up in the beta. The beta was also a lot of fun. I'm not gonna lie, I really miss it. I don't know if you guys remember Blockbuster, but this feels like having to return a game you rented but haven't even beaten yet. We're less than a month away, and I can't even say how hyped I am. Outside of like little things that were like a little wrong with the beta, like little tweaks here and there, like it could be relatively easily fixed. I'm like super pumped for Li Mei. I can't wait to see how the new Scorpion plays and how a bunch of the characters are gonna play in this new game. But without further ado, let's get into the video. Li Mei was first introduced really late in the original timeline, so she doesn't have a lot of outfits to go over. So we'll mainly use her outfits from Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance and Deception, both her alt and her primary costume. So I mean, I guess we'll talk about her MKS look as well, since she did make a brief appearance in that game. And then we'll fast forward to Mortal Kombat 1 after MKX. So her Deadly Alliance outfit was intentionally made skimpy. It describes Li Mei as a bombshell character, and her outfit was made to complement her acrobatic fighting style. So starting off with her primary outfit, she wears a v-neck shirt that goes down all the way to her belly and white trimming on the shirt. She has flowers throughout the shirt with the roots coming at the end. Overall, this is a very like gymnastic kind of design, I feel like, with the way that the clothes had looked. She wears like a purplish pink color type of sash that hangs off the middle of the belt. She has also has like a black and white cloth that kind of hangs off the sides with an interesting design. I think it might be the symbol of her village, but that's just me kind of guessing on what those little initials are. But moving on to the pants, she wears like these really big parachute pants, like they used to wear like in like that I want to say 70s or 80s. Like it was kind of like, that's what it reminded me of whenever I see the outfit. But it was actually pretty cool because it kind of synergized well with the purple and pink designs that she had on it, so it kind of just like went really well with the outfit. But and she also wears sandals in this variation. She seems to wear sandals in a lot of her variations, if I'm being honest. But anyways, moving on to her alternative look. To me, she looks like a female wrestler with the shorts and the pink top. It just makes me think of a wrestler when you see the gold piece that connects from her top to her shorts. It also looked like the piece that connects between the two. It looks like a kind of like a gold spine. That's what I always thought it looked like. It looked really brutal, especially seeing as it was in Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, which at that time was like a very dark game because of like, you know, Liu Kang and Shao Kahn supposedly being dead. But her shorts had they had a pretty cool design with the white design. She also has like these pink ribbons that drape from the sides. She wears a purple choker around her neck, and it has some kind of gold button. I guess that's what she uses to connect the choker. And on her legs, her boots, they're very interesting because she wears like these pink bands that go just above her knees that also connect into the smaller bands that go under her knees. And if you look at the back of it, both of those bands, they connect into the boot, which I think is a very interesting design, especially like, you know, with the boot. Like to me, this whole design just screams like a wrestler type of inspiration. But you know, that's just how I've always looked at that particular design. But anyways, in Mortal Kombat Deception, it looks like they expanded upon her wrestler type of look, updating key parts of the costume. Now she has shoulder pads and new gauntlets. Her top has been heavily upgraded, the end lining to the outfit. So like the lining of the outfit, like they had like it was like you could see the indents inside, and it kind of like a lot. Honestly, it kind of looked like dragon wings throughout her whole armor. That was like the way that the thing they were going for. Not to mention that the buckle on her shorts, it looked like a small version of Onaga's head. And she moved to a fully thigh-high boots. She also wears a bandana. Now, honestly, this was pretty cool. It's a pretty cool look, and it kept the whole bombshell look that Ed was talking about in Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. Like it kept that same aesthetic that they were going for, and I feel like the costume of this costume in particular kind of shows off like that something is wrong with Li Mei in this game, and that Li Mei is like, because she was infused into the soldier, she became like corrupted. So having this kind of armor looking more like the Dragon King, it kind of like foreshadows that she's gonna switch sides to Onaga. But you know, that's just the way I've always looked at that costume. But in her alternative costume, she has like a samurai top of battle armor. Moving away from her skimpy primary look, her new outfit has different shades of purple. She has like a silver trimming throughout the costume, and then has like a white boots. Like it was cool. She also rocks a helmet for the first time that, if I'm being honest, looks pretty damn dope, with the silver metal ornaments protruding from the actual purple helmet. Her hair looks much longer too, like when I took like a second look at it. And the body armor has like a purple and silver kind of color throughout the outfit. And she has the purple sash now instead of a pink one. She has these two armor pieces on the side of her thighs. I won't lie, this version is just really like ready for war. Probably the most armored character in Deception, but I like the look. I think it was super dope. Like it made her look like she was ready to go to hell and back to win the fight that she was trying to win, you know what I mean? Now her MKS outfit wasn't bad. It was a purple and black outfit. Honestly, it kind of looked like a Chung-Li type outfit. I always felt like it was kind of a waste because I liked the MKS design, but I'm glad she's in the new game. Like, because I feel like missing her, not being able to play her since Mortal Kombat Armageddon is kind of crazy. But they finally brought her back for MK1, thankfully, so we'll be able to get our hands on her, especially since I already got my hands on her. Anyways, Li Mei finally makes her return in Mortal Kombat 1, and I can't lie, I love her new look. It's just like chef kiss. She's an Outworld cop now, and she doesn't let her hair down in this version. I wonder if they'll have an outfit where she does, maybe like an older outfit. That would be nice, like if she had like a Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance or Deception outfit. But anyways, she finally has like a purple and pink throughout her outfit again, like her midway days. I love the double layers throughout the outfit, and the purple and pink really made the outfit pop out, especially the silver trimming with all the straps that run throughout the outfit. She wears these gauntlets, again one layered and one armor layer, while the other is made of cloth. She also wears bicep bands on her right arm. Not really sure what it is for, but it must be some kind of symbol. She has a new tattoo as well. I assume it has something to do with the Ungari. And when she was a part of the set, maybe they make you get a tattoo for that. Now that I think about it, the armband and her belt, the little black things on them could be the fireworks. So like those little black pieces that you see throughout, like the arm piece and then like the one around her belt, I feel like those have something to do with fireworks, which if it's true, it's pretty cool. And it makes a lot of sense. The sash has also been updated. A lot of the new looks look crazy good. It looks like the flower, like, you know, the sash, like if you look at the sash closely, you can see like they have flowers like insignia, kind of like how a homage to like the Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance version. And she also has like orange pants with like purple trimming and straps. Her new boots are also pretty cool. Well, maybe not boots, because the boot part are sandals, and the right boot has an armored plate on it. Meanwhile, the left boot has like ribbons tied around her knee, and her overall is just like my favorite design so far. Well, it's tied with Sindel. Sindel really knocked it out the park, I'm not gonna lie. She went from being a skimpy bombshell outfit to being a fully fledged warrior in a new era. Okay, so moving on to chapter 2, we're gonna be talking about special moves. This is the first time I actually got my hands on the game, so I can tell you guys what I thought about her new abilities. So let's talk about the lantern. It's an air trap that pops enemies up if they are hit, and it kind of reminds me of Cyrax's bomb that used to pop you up in Mortal Kombat 9, and they used to do those crazy combos. You can't do it as much as like the Cyrax bombs in this game with Li Mei, but like you definitely see like it has some kind of like relation to each other. But anyways, moving on to her energy blast. It's just like basic like blast, but if you enhance it, it becomes a pop-up, and it's a great way to start up combos if you catch your opponent slipping on like a regular, if you're not doing the low pop-up and you just want to like get regular punches inside of them while they're standing in like mid or high. It's pretty cool, and then you can use like the Sonya cameo to come and pop them up. It's pretty dope. The flying punches also make a return, but they've been modified. Now there's a flying knee startup, and then you do the punches, but it has like really good distance, so there's that. It's also a great way to end combos. If you enhance it, it just gives you more damage. It's not really a pop-up, but like they get popped up, but it's very low, and then they go right back to the ground. And then she has like another move where it's like a back kick, but she uses like a pink dragon wrapped around her leg, and if you enhance it, it just does a bit more damage. Her moves go very well together. It's just, I kind of wish she had overhead, just so it was a little bit easier to deal with characters like Johnny Cage. But if I'm being honest, like she's good enough to where it won't even matter. Like you just have to play a certain way in order to like not, you know, get hit by it, by like a combo like Johnny Cage's this crazy combo with Kano. Okay, so moving on to chapter 3. Did Li Mei betray the forces of light and deception? Was it on purpose, or like was she just corrupt and had no control over herself? So we're gonna use the original timeline from Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance to Deception to figure out what happened to her since she was trying to free her people in her ending in Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, and then in Deception where she betrayed the forces of light. Li Mei's village was the first to be enslaved by the Deadly Alliance, and basically Kano was ordered to get a small population to build the fortress that was going to be around the Tornado. Li Mei is the only one of her village who was willing to rebel against the leaders of the Black Dragon Clan, Kano. She gained the attention of Quan Chi, who hosted a tournament, and told Li Mei that if she had won, he would liberate her people, and he would liberate her and her fellow villagers. Recognizing the warrior spirit was sent Li Mei. Between Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance and Deception, Li Mei met and became friends with Shujinko. Shujinko offered to train her after she told him her plans to fight off the Deadly Alliance. Even though he thought it was a slim chance, he, after fighting with her, decided that she would succeed him, and like he would train her. But he, against his better judgment, he decided to train her. So she ends up competing in the Deadly Alliance tournament, and in her ending, she is depicted as beating Quan Chi, earning the right to be imprisoned for she grew the right to be in her ending. Basically, she grew the right to be able to be a new soul for Quan Chi's undead army, even though like she was betrayed by Quan Chi because he said that he was gonna bring her family back, but he didn't do that. He didn't care. But anyways, like her soul was trapped within one of the Dragon King soldiers, and during this time, I believe she was corrupted. Well, her soul was corrupted. Not everything about her was corrupted. But anyways, Barachu rescues her soul from Dragon King's soldier. However, he's apparently only partially successful, and Li Mei takes on some of the aspects of the Dragon King's warrior. Because of this, upon the return of the Dragon King Onaga, his corruption and influence began to influence her. Her non-canon ending results in her willfully becoming the Dragon Queen, and although it was not canon ending, resulting in her willfully becoming the Dragon King's wife. Although this was non-canon, I feel like people have debated, even to this day, whether she betrayed the Force of Light because she wanted to, or because she was under the spell of the Dragon King. It makes sense when you think about it. If it's to do with Dragon King itself, then like it would make sense why she wasn't fully restored like everyone else that had been under the control of Onaga. But anyways, like I think she was corrupted. I don't think that this the real Li Mei would have did what she did. But anyways, it kind of it makes sense with them being bound to her being bound to Dragon King for as little of the time she did. It was a time where she was corrupted by the Dragon King soldier. So either way, like, you know, whatever side of the fence you sit on, I feel like with the bios you pretty much like 80% time know that what you call it, that she didn't do it because she wanted to, but because she had no choice because she was corrupted. And I'm gonna be honest, like, this ending kind of went against her character, so yeah, I kind of didn't like it. And though she was corrupted, especially when the Dragon King soldier, so like basically because she was corrupted and like had the aspects of the Dragon King soldier, when Dragon King lays eyes on the Dragon King, then he has to obey them. Like he can't what you call it, disobey an order from them. Going by the Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance bio, Deadly Alliance commanded Kano to force a small population to construct a palace fortress around the Solnado. Li Mei was among the captured, but she rebelled against Kano and by doing so got the attention of Quan Chi, who promised to free her people if she had won the tournament. However, in alternate bio, we learned that during the construction of the palace fortress, it was constructed around an ancient structure which was regarded by her people as a sacred relic. The legends told that it was a portal to the heavens left behind by the gods. Quan Chi used the Shinnok's amulet to activate the Solnado. The legends were true. Li Mei had been promised that her people would be freed from the enslavement if she could win the tournament held by the Deadly Alliance. So in her ending, we find out that she had emerged victorious. The true purpose behind the tournament was finally revealed to her. Her soul would be the last one Shang Tsung needed to completely revive the Dragon King's lost army. Her people would never be freed, and Li Mei herself would remain trapped inside the mummified remains of a dead soldier, cursed to serve the Deadly Alliance forever.
Li Mei had been promised that her people would be freed from enslavement if she could win the tournament held by the Deadly Alliance. Now that she had emerged victorious, the true purpose behind the tournament was finally revealed to her. Her soul would be the last one Shang Tsung needed to completely revive the Dragon King's lost army. Her people would never be freed, and Li Mei herself would remain trapped inside the mummified remains of a dead soldier, cursed to serve the Deadly Alliance forever.
But moving on to the Mortal Kombat Deception, realizing that she had been being a complete fool, the Deadly Alliance, had it not been for Baraicho's intervention, would have remained a servant to the Deadly Alliance. Luckily, she was saved though. She had been nursed back to full health, but for the brief moment her soul occupied the warrior's corpse, she felt herself change in many ways. She could never fully understand. Master Baraicho trained Li Mei well during the time she spent with him. She came to respect and be very loyal to Baraicho and felt a renewed duty to Outworld. But she constantly felt a draw to a strange power taking hold somewhere within the realm. Upon unlocking her ending, an alliance had been formed of warriors from vastly different origins, but with a similar goal: to defeat Onaga. Li Mei marched uneasily into the battle against the Dragon King. The closer she got to him, the more she came to understand which side was truly deserving of victory. So to me, this is basically just showing that, like, the influence of the Dragon King soldier, the loyalty to the Dragon King, is starting to play a role in why she traded sides in her non-canon ending. Li Mei turned on her allies and gave her emperor the time he needed to finish merging the Kamidogu. The Dragon King was now all-powerful. He had the means to control the universe, to make and unmake as he saw fit. Li Mei watched in delight as the elder gods fled before his might. Onaga then transformed her into his queen to be forever by his side. He had given her power beyond anything she could have ever imagined. Together they will rule the One Realm and slay the last of the elder gods.
An alliance had been formed of warriors from vastly different origins, but with a similar goal: to defeat Onaga. Li Mei marched uneasily into battle against the Dragon King. The closer she got to him, the more she came to understand which side was truly deserving of victory. Li Mei turned on her former allies and gave her emperor the time he needed to finish merging the Kami Dogu. The Dragon King was now all-powerful. He had the means to control the universe, to make and unmake as he saw fit. Li Mei watched in delight as the Elder Gods fled before his might. Onaga then transformed her into his queen, to be forever at his side. He had given her power beyond anything she ever imagined. Together, they will rule the One Realm and slay the last of the Elder Gods.
She makes a return in the rebooted timeline of Mortal Kombat X, but a minor one. Li Mei appears in the new era, being the but yeah, she only appeared very shortly, just to warn them about Kano and about about why they fled from Outworld. So in the new era, every firstborn daughter is given to the Ungani. Li Mei was claimed by the Ungani. She had very high expectations from a young age, catching the eyes of the royal family, but it all fell apart when King Jared was murdered under her watch. She was blamed for her failure, and she quit the Ungani. Friendless and alone and ashamed, she joined the Sundo's Constables, which was basically the Outworld's police force. Over time, she became their first constable. Li Mei was glad to be the capital guardian. Still, she hopes to redeem herself in the eyes of the Ungani and in the eyes of the royal family. Li Mei has a completely different upbringing in the new era. Instead of being trained by Shujinko and Master Barasha, she's trained by the second Ungani from when she was a kid. I kind of like this route and this version of her story, because like I like the fact that the sect of Ungani warriors kind of reminds me of like the way Liu Kang grew up, where like he was orphaned and then he had to learn from the Shaolin monks to protect his Earthrealm and all that. Although the divergence of what happened between Liu Kang and protecting Earthrealm versus her protecting Jared is the big difference here. Jared was murdered. Honestly, I think this might be one of another one of the negative consequences was Chronica being back. So I wonder if we'll get a cutscene that shows off what happened to King Jared, and like maybe a young Li Mei, and it's just like her horror finding out like about King Jared dying. But anyways, but how do you guys feel about Li Mei in Mortal Kombat 1? I believe the bios proved that she wasn't in control of herself and fell to Onaga's influence. If you guys made it this far, please like the video if you enjoyed this episode of Face Yourself, and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed the Mortal Kombat 1 content you see here. Well, that's gonna do it for me today, guys. Peace and love. Remember, friends, friendships over fatalities. Don't be a jerk, and I'll see you in the next timeline. Peace.